Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing Penelope's 6 and 7 month update. I was supposed to do her 6 month update and I never got around to filming it because it was right when I went back to work, and that was just one of the videos that I didn't get to pre-record. So we're going to do a combination of both. I would have loved to do just her 6 month on its own since it's such a huge milestone, like half birthday, but I couldn't do it. So it is what it is. Also, side note, please excuse this ratchet band-aid on my thumb. I sliced my thumb open last night, so without getting into detail, that's what's going on here. She's also playing right here. If you guys can see her little saucer, what is this called again? Activity center. She's hanging out here with me. So if you hear her, see her, that's what's going on there. Really quick before we get into today's video, if you are new here, hello, my name is Chelsea. I am a first-time mom to a 7-month-old baby girl named Penelope. I do motherhood-related videos, a little bit of lifestyle, and I do vlogs. So if you're interested in those kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. You can always comment down below if you have any questions. Thanks, P. So I always start off with like the weight, height, diaper size, that kind of thing. So we'll just go into her stats first. So I did do a 6 month appointment. Her next appointment isn't until 9 months, so I don't have an update kind of on how she is now at 7 months. But at 6 months, she was 13 pounds, 3 ounces, 25.75 inches long, and she's 5% in weight in the percentile in weight, and then she's 50 percentile. Am I saying that right? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. In the 50th, no, yeah, the 50th, right? Yes, that's why I'm saying it wrong. The 5th percentile in weight, 50th percentile in height. Doctor says she's long and lean. So if you guys don't know, and if you haven't followed me and this is the first time you're watching me, Penelope was born early, 3 weeks early, and she was very tiny. She was 5'2" when she was born. I'm actually looking at her little birth poster over there. 5'2" and 18.5 inches long. It's covering it, but I'm pretty sure it's 18.5 inches long. So she was a little peanut. I had complications, kind of, sort of, and I needed to deliver her early, and so she was very tiny. So although she's so low for weight on the percentile chart, she's right on track and normal for, you know, my birth experience or how she was born or whatever you want to say. And I think because that was the case, she's kind of tall, like 50th percentile. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I mean, I'm tall. I'm 5'8". My whole family's tall. My husband's not. He's barely 5'8". He's like, we always say he's like 5'7.5". Like he has a little half. And his kind of side of the family is not that tall. So I don't know if she's going to be kind of long and lean like me, or she's going to take after him, but we'll see. Those are her stats on that. She is in size 2 diapers. She's been in size 2 diapers now for a little bit, and they're totally great, comfortable. I don't see her moving up in a size anytime soon unless she has some kind of crazy growth spurt. But she is in size 3 at night because she's still getting up to nurse at night. I will get into that. But she's still getting up to nurse at night, so she is in size 3 because she needs that extra room in her diaper or she will pee out of her diaper. I was gonna go over her ounces. Really? That's a new thing too. She loves to scream. Like, scream. So I was gonna go over also her ounces, but that she's drinking and all that, but I'll go over that into food because, you know, things have been changing. So, also clothing size, she is in 6 to 9 and 9 to 12. It just depends, but definitely 9 to 12 is, you know, big on her. Definitely has room to grow. 6 to 9 is more so like what she fits in pretty well right now. We started doing solids with Penelope when she turned 6 months. She has been breastfed since she came home from the hospital, with the exception of some formula because she was so underweight in the hospital. But once she was home, exclusively breastfed, and then I introduced a little bit of a bottle to her, but she has only had breast milk since she's been home. No formula, no water, no nothing, just breast milk. Because I know they introduced water around this age too, but my doctor said that she gets enough hydration from my breast milk, so there's no need. So she is drinking breast milk still. She does go to a sitter, so at the sitter she does 6-ounce bottles. Or I should say at the 6 month mark, she was doing 6-ounce bottles. I actually started at 5 ounces because I don't really know, or I didn't really know how much she was getting from my breast milk, because when you're breastfeeding, it's kind of hard to tell. I didn't really bottle feed her much. So I started off with 5 ounces. The babysitter said she kind of felt like she was hungry, so I upped it to 6 ounces. And then she started solids like 2 weeks later, and we realized like the solids with the 6-ounce bottles was just too much. She was spitting up way too much. She seemed uncomfortable, so then we went back down to 5 ounces. So right now She's drinking 5-ounce bottles 3 times a day at the sitter, and then she breastfeeds with me, you know, on demand or whatever you want to call it. But in the morning, I will breastfeed her or I will nurse her, and then she will go to the sitter, have 3 bottles, and then come home and have another 2 nursing sessions before bed. But in between that, she is having solids. So to be honest, I really didn't know what I was doing going into solids. Like, I tried to read and I tried to go off of charting and I tried to go off of what the doctor told me, but I don't know, it was just confusing to me for some reason. With nursing or breastfeeding or bottle feeding, formula feeding, whatever, it's so much easier. The baby gets a bottle like every 3 hours or every 2 hours or whatever the case may be, 5 ounces, and you're good to go. Then when you're implementing solids, it starts to get a little bit tricky. At least it did for me. So basically, I started off with just like 1 meal a day. It was lunch. I did lunch 1 time a day. Or was it dinner? I think it was dinner actually, because I wanted her nice and full before bed. So she did dinner once a day for like a good week, and it was about like 4 ounces. And then the sitter was telling me that she still seemed a little bit hungry even after that. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know, how much am I really supposed to be giving her? Like, she just started this. She's a smaller baby. So then I started asking my mom friends and doing more research, and like all their 6-month-olds were eating 3 times a day, you know, and having their bottles on top of that, obviously, because they need to have, their bottles are their main source of nutrition until they're 1 year old. So of course she's still having her bottles, but it was just confusing. So then I was like, okay, maybe I really do need to give her 3 meals a day. So I tried the 3 meals a day with the 6-ounce bottles, and that's when it was just too much for her. So like I said, we ended up going back down to 5-ounce bottles, and she only has 2 meals a day right now. So breakfast, she never really seemed interested in, so I just was like, okay, we're just not gonna do breakfast. We'll just do lunch at the sitters, and we'll do dinner with me before bed. So that's what she gets now. But again, in the beginning, in the 6-month part of her life, she was having 6-ounce bottles. Then we went down to 5-ounce bottles because she was eating also solids 3 times a day, and then we realized that was too much. So now at 7 months, she's having 2 meals, lunch and dinner, and she's having her 3 5-ounce bottles at the sitter every 3 hours, and she's nursing on demand with me. I hope that's not too confusing, but I know people watch these videos and they want to know, what is my child going to be doing at 6 months? What is my child going to be doing at 7 months? So I just kind of wanted to explain it in a way where you understood how she was at 6 months and also now at 7. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, that's where we're at with food. She does 2 ounces. I'm sure she'll be going up to 4 soon, because that's usually like, they usually have 2 and then 4, not 2, 3, 4. I mean, again, that's just what I've been noticing, but every baby's different. She might go from 2 to 3 to 4. But that's where we're at right now. So she'll have purees, and I also try to do a little bit of baby-led weaning with her, which you guys have seen if you follow my vlogs. So everything's going well so far. She's had a list of foods that I'll link, or a list up here for you guys to check out if you're interested, because you have to kind of separate them so you know if they're allergic to something, what they're allergic to, instead of giving them like broccoli, bananas, and eggs one day, because then you're like, wait, if something happens, which one are they allergic to? You don't really know. So that's that. Also, she has been introduced to a major allergen, peanut butter. I did put a little bit in her oatmeal, and so far so good. So I'm gonna keep introducing her to that slowly, little by little, to each their own, but that's just how I'm doing it, because I do believe in the early introduction to these allergens, and I believe that it basically helps them not become allergic to it later. So that's what we're doing with that. And then last thing I want to say about feeding, because this is probably like 20 minutes worth of the video already, I did up her nipple size. So for the longest time, she was having a size 1 nipple, which probably sounds insane because she's 7 months old. But I was nursing her exclusively for so long that when I gave her the bottle, I didn't want her to then prefer the bottle over my nursing, me nursing her, because of the fast flow that the bottle can give when you go up in sizes of nipples. For formula fed babies, this is not an issue, obviously, but since she was breastfed, I wanted to just make sure that I was all good with the breastfeeding before I introduced her to a higher size nipple. And then the babysitter brought it up, and I was like, oh my god, yes, I have to size up on her nipple. So she's doing size 2 now, which is like, I think for like a 4 or 5 month old. So we're definitely going to continue to go up in size, but again, just something tricky with that I just wanted to be mindful of because of her nursing with me, I just didn't want her to be like, I don't want that. I want the fast flow nipple from that bottle. Okay, I think that's everything about food. That was, again, probably a lot. I know some of you wanted to see a video on like how I do purees and how I feed her and what she eats in a day. I will do that, but I think I'm gonna wait till she's eating 3 meals a day and we're a little bit more established in like what we're eating. Okay, so let's talk about sleep, because that's a huge thing, right? Like, sleep is so important. Everybody wants to know, is your baby sleeping through the night? What is your baby doing for naps? Like, do they still need to be swaddled? Like, there's so many things. So with Penelope, if you followed me for a little while, you probably know our whole sleep journey. She's not a good sleeper. She's always been a terrible sleeper. And so I've always had to kind of figure out different things to help her sleep. So for the first month of her life, she did not sleep. I was up every hour, every 2 hours with her. It was terrible. I mean, she napped during the day, but she was up all night. And then I kind of did some gentle sleep training, like just implementing little things like, okay, let's try to keep her up a little longer so that way she can take a good nap or sleep a little bit better at night. I have videos on all this stuff. And so that went well. And then the 4-month sleep regression happened, and that was horrible for us because she was also transitioning out of her swaddle that she loved so much because she was starting to roll. So now we're all good with the swaddle, thank God. That was terrible. She sleeps in a sleep sack now. She loves it. She's comfortable. She rolls. She gets, you know, all comfortable. And she's good to go. She goes down in her crib awake for her naps, and now even at night I put her down awake and she goes right to bed. So after the 4-month sleep regression, then she was not sleeping well until about 6 months. When I went to her 6-month appointment, the doctor told me, is she sleeping, or asked me, is she sleeping through the night? And I said, no, she's not sleeping through the night. She's been getting up like every 2 hours, and I don't know like how to get back to where we were previous to the 4-month sleep regression. And he basically told me, like, you just got to let her cry and you got to stop nursing her before bed, because she's now associating that with going to sleep. And when she wakes up at night, she's going to want to nurse. And so I was like, okay, sounds good. And funny enough, he actually said, do you know about taking care of babies? Because all my patients talk about it and that should probably help you. And I was like, yeah, I follow her and I preach her stuff all the time, even though I've never physically taken her class, but I just read all her stuff that she has like on her Instagram and stuff. And I'm always telling you guys that. So it was just funny that he brought that up. But anyway, I got the confidence to say, okay, it's time to kind of sleep train her and let her do a little cry it out. And not nurse her. So I ended up doing that. I started on a Friday. I said, you know what, we're gonna put her down awake with no nursing before. That was the first time I had ever done it. I had always nursed her right before bed because in my mind, the fuller, the better. So I didn't want to ever wait. But now we have a whole other system in place that I'll talk to you guys in a minute. But I had never not nursed her to bed. So we ended up having a new routine in place. And I started putting her in the crib awake, but very sleepy. And she went to bed, no problem. She didn't care about that nursing session. So that was great. Now, I had to deal with her waking up still in the middle of the night because she was expecting it at that point, or expecting me to go in there and feed her. And she did, and I had to do the cry it out, you know, every couple minutes go in, say it's okay, come out, and then whatever. I didn't do like the whole fervor method because I couldn't do like that 5, 10, 15, 20, like I can't do it. I just can. I don't know if I could do it one day, but right now I just could not hear her cry for that long and not check on her. So I just did like every couple minutes I would go in and pat her and whatever. So it ended up working. She did great. After like the first couple days she got it, was sleeping through the night. Beautiful. No problem. That lasted 1 week. Lasted 1 week, and then she was getting up again. And I was like, what do I do? Do I have to do the fervor method again? Or the modified fervor method, I should say, again. And so I did it again the one night that she was getting up a ton, and she just didn't care. She just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And I said to myself, you know, this is the last time that I'm going to do this method. I'm just going to assume that she just, you know, wants to get up here and there, and sometimes she'll sleep through the night and sometimes she won't. And basically that's how it's been. But more recently, I would say in the last week or two, she's been getting up every single night. Whereas before, when I first did like the whole sleep training, she was getting up here and there, sometimes once, sometimes twice, but most of the time she would sleep through the night. And now every night she's up at around 10 and around 3. Or around 11 and around 4, or, you know, it's like something like that. But it's like clockwork. She's always up, and I have to come in and I have to nurse her because she will not go down. And I'm so tired and I don't want to deal with the crying at that point. So I think right now it is what it is. I'm just going to deal with it, and then when I want to kind of sleep train her again, I guess, I will get there. I just don't want to deal with the cry it out again, and I know that the solution to her just sleeping fully through the night is for me to just stop nursing her. But it's easier said than done. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it, because I feel like, again, this update video will be 3 hours long. But that's kind of where we're at. But I will say her naps are amazing. She's on a 2-nap schedule now. Previous to this, when she was 6 months, she was on a 3-nap schedule. And now she just dropped that 3rd cat nap. She's not interested in it. So we just decided to widen her wake windows a little bit. Now that she is 7 months old, she can have a wider wake window. And she goes to bed now between 7 and 8 instead of 8 p.m. on the dot. Like, no matter what, I wanted her in bed at 8, which just wasn't working. And now she's in bed between 7 and 8, just depending on her naps. But she does sometimes need that last cat nap. It just depends. I try to really just do the 2 because I know that's what she's comfortable with, and it works well for me too. But if, for example, she takes a really crappy nap and her wake windows are all off and all this stuff, I have to get that like last cat nap in. Lastly, quickly, I'll mention that she is taking about an hour to an hour and a half naps now, each nap, her 2 naps a day. And then she again is in bed between 7 and 8, and then she's up between like 6 and 7. It just depends. This morning she was up at 5:30, so I'm a little bit tired, but again, you know, I'm just rolling with it at this point. I'm trying not to obsess so much over her sleep, but it still is important that she is on some kind of schedule to me for her, you know, well-being, for my sanity, for it all. And then I think the last update before I go into like her milestones and like her likes and dislikes is the babysitter. I know that people are interested in the babysitter and like how she's doing there and everything like that. And so I'll just jump into that quickly. She is doing great. I love her babysitter. I love that she loves going there and seeing other babies, which is so good for her age right now. Like, I didn't want her to be around like a million babies at daycare because I was nervous with COVID. But the fact that she gets to see like 2 or 3 babies on a daily and get introduced to like other people, which is the babysitter, and another house and things like that, that makes me happy now, which I didn't even think I would care about. I just wanted her with me all the time, 24/7. But I am happy about that now. And she's doing really great there. The babysitter, like I said, is really awesome. She helps her try to sit up, and she plays with them, and she sings with them, and she gives her lunch, and she just seems really happy there. And then on top of that, she is taking good naps there, so that makes me happy as well. So as long as she's happy, she's taking her naps, she's, you know, giving me updates throughout the day, how she's doing and how, you know, everything's going, I'm a happy camper. Yay! She's going like this. I think that one thing that helped me, or is so helpful to the mother, and this might be obvious, but is to make sure that you are 100% happy with the place that you're going to be leaving your baby at, or the person you're going to be leaving your baby with. It just helps your sanity and just, I don't know, help me, my anxiety like tremendously. So doing great at the sitters. I hope she can stay there forever, because she can stay there probably until she's like 3. I know a lot of the references that I called before I put her there, or put her with her, said that their babies stood there till they were like 3 because she loved them. So I hope she can stay there that long, and that way I don't have to worry about that for a little while. Okay, milestones. Honestly, not a lot from month 5 to 6. I think now month 6 to 7, just so many things have changed. So I don't know exactly like if these things happen kind of from the 5 to 6, but I would say definitely between the 6 and 7 mark. So the most exciting one to me, honestly, is that she is now sitting up. Like, I think that is so cool to see her sitting up and playing with toys, because it's just like a different experience for them. And although she's just still a little wobbly, she is way better than she was when we started, which I started practicing with her at 6 months old because the pediatrician asked me if she was sitting up yet. And I was like, no, should she be? So I started working on that with her, sitting on the, you know, play gym with her, behind her, and she's been doing really good with that. She's also doing like the pushing up kind of I'm gonna get ready to crawl move, which is crazy. I'm not ready for her to start crawling. I feel like I am never gonna get anything done again. Like, I just don't know how I'm gonna do anything when she starts crawling, because she also stays on her play gym, and like I'll put her one way and I'll walk away and I'll come back and she's literally like She is in her like we're at home chilling kind of outfit, so don't mind her and her crazy little ponytail. But now I come back and she's done like a whole 360 and she's like moved herself all around the gym. So she's getting really close to getting to that like I'm about to crawl phase, or she is kind of there. She's getting close to crawling, which is like, it freaks me out even saying it out loud. It's just such a crazy time. Can I have my hair back? Okay. Another really fun and exciting thing that she does, which I still haven't been able to get on camera because she just, I don't know, I think she sees the phone and she's like not interested in doing it, but she's starting to wave and she's done it multiple times, so I know it's not just the like she's just wailing her hands around. We will say bye-bye, hi, like she's looking, and she will take her hand and she'll like wave. Sometimes she'll go like this, sometimes she'll go like this, but she is literally waving and it is so cute. I just can't wait till it's at the point where it's like consistent, where she literally will do it anytime you say it. Right now she's like, if I feel like it, I'll do it. If I don't feel like it, I'm not doing it. So she's starting to babble way more. So now she says da da, or she'll be like da 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 da. She just started saying mama, so that was definitely from 6 to 7 months she started saying mama. She'll go mama, and it's like it's hard for her to say it, but she'll say it. And although I don't think she knows what it means yet, I'm just happy that she's getting there. I'm sorry if the lighting got a little weird or bright. It's because now it's pretty sunny. So her loves, she loves the dogs, loves them. She cracks up with them all the time, especially my girl. I don't know what it is about her, but she loves her. I don't know if it's the way she looks, loves cracking up with her, and she loves grabbing things that are not a toy, like the phone, which I'm surprised she hasn't tried to grab yet. The remote, she's obsessed with. Finally this morning I just took out the batteries and I was like, here you go, knock yourself out, like have fun. And her dislikes are basically the only dislike that I know, because she's such an easy, happy-go-lucky baby, is she hates getting her diaper changed on the changing table. I have to change her diaper now either in the crib or on my bed or on my lap. And then she's like, all right, it's fine. But something about the changing table, she is not happy camper about. She doesn't like it. She's not interested. So I don't know, maybe that'll change. But it's been like that for a little while now. And I almost think it's more so the act of just being put down on her back. But it's always 10 times worse when I have to put her on the changing table. And I do try to entertain her with something or give her something to entertain her with when I'm doing it. But she's just not a fan of that. Okay, I think I've been talking long enough. So I'm going to end this update here with showing you my little girl. This is Penelope at 7 months old. Go girl, go girl, go girl. She's super happy, just like a really good, sweet baby. And of course, I'm obsessed with her, like I always say in every update. Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if this was super long. Hope it helped out anybody else who's watching and wants to kind of see what's coming next for their baby, or want to compare, even though we should never do that, but you know, guilty. I do it too. Like I said, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!